Hello everyone, I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So in today's video I'm going to talk about why we need to stop loving people who don't understand what love is. We should look for reciprocation. We should not go on doing, getting into an act of one-sided love, and it really shatters us. Trust me, if there is no reciprocation, it's absolute maddening. It's a very weird feeling. It's a very bad, disheartening, kind of an experience that we go through when we love someone and we don't get that love in return. Now so this is what we are going to talk about today. So if we see generally, if you see that it's very maddening for anyone who is loving someone and they are not being loved in return. So definitely every relationship needs reciprocation, and of course love is love. If you love someone, love demands reciprocation. It can't be just one-sided love. It is just manipulation or exploitation or abuse. One-sided, I don't think any relationship works. And when it comes to love, it has to be two-way. Two people are engaging in, whether it's a parent and a child love, whether it's a lover's love, whether it's a friend's love, sibling love, whatsoever. So it's absolutely sad that we love someone and then we don't get the love in return. Now if we look at it in the family thing, in family also we often grow up with an idea that we have to love our parents, but we are abused and we don't talk about it. We don't address the parents' abuse or the toxicity, because we just want everything to be all right and okay, and because we have been conditioned in such a way where toxicity and abuse is a normal part. We grow up believing that these things are normal part of our family, and we don't address our emotions because our emotions are not validated and addressed to growing up in a toxic and abusive family. So we are made to feel that we have to love our parents, and which is fine. If it's a two-way relationship, it's a two-way thing. If love is there mutually, it should reside in both the parties and one should love each other. But often what happens is that we know that our love is being utilized. When we are being utilized, when we are being misused, when we are being manipulated by our parents, we love them as parents, but they just see us as commodity in getting their needs met, in getting their desires fulfilled. And in any relationship, it's not just a parent and child, in a lover's relationship or in friends or in siblings also, when one party loves the other party, and when they see that there is no reciprocation but the relationship is there, often for the weaker ones, often those who are very emotionally sensitive and not that mature and weak, they keep on loving the person. They don't put a full stop. They keep on loving with an hope, with a hope in their mind that one day that person is going to recognize my love, one day that person is going to appreciate, one day that person is going to come to me and say, I am so sorry, you loved me and I did not reciprocate. All that. This cooking happens mostly because of external factors, like all those movies and series and web series and serials that we watch on content, those crippling content that everyone has to love each other, go on doing it. And a lot of these conditioning is there in the society, where there are relationships where there exists forced love. Whereas it should be a mutual thing. It should not be one-sided, like a man is loving the woman but the woman is not loving the man in return. The woman is absolutely disconnected and the man goes on to any extent to win her love, and they get even married also, but still the man doesn't feel appreciated. The man doesn't feel the equal reciprocation when it comes to love. Now he can't leave the wife because they are in a married relationship and everything is fine, just the love is missing. Sex is there, the kids are there, she's doing her household work and everything is there, but just the love is missing. So again, it's one-sided, but they don't want to call it out because it's going on, so let it go. The relationship looks good aesthetically, it's existing, so why not let it go? The same thing happens with parent, caregiver and children, siblings, and a lot of I'm precisely talking about those who are very weak at heart, those who are very emotionally weak, and those who are victim of abuse and they have not healed. They will realize that they are not getting the equal love in return, but they will still choose to be in that relationship, hoping that one day they might get some fraction of that equal love reciprocation, whereas in that doesn't ever happen. Yes, I mean, I can say it from my own experience. If someone is toxic, if someone is dysfunctional, if someone is having some mental health issues, you can't expect these people to function normally. You can take responsibility of yourself. You can't keep on doing and draining yourself, emotionally, mentally, in a lot of ways. You can't keep on financially, you can't keep on draining yourself just to please that person and just to show them how much you love them, but in return you just get a big zero. Yeah, so it's a two-way process. And some might disagree, saying that, oh no, some relations are made in heaven, some relations has to be like that. No, it is just because of these dysfunctional relationships we have got such a poor society, we have got such a poor, less evolved society with a lot of challenges, with a lot of crippling behavior, crippling activities, and a lot of mental handicaps. So I don't think it's okay, relationships are there, but if the relationship is toxic, if there is no love, there is no point in being in that relationship. What our society does is that it forces relationship, even if it is abusive, even if it is toxic, you have to be there because aesthetically the relationship is there, and in order to live in amongst those society, in order to live amongst those people, the so-called crippled people, mentally crippled people, you will also look as if you are committed and you have a full set of families, everyone, but everyone is dysfunctional, everyone is toxic. There, it hardly matters. Husband wives are having an abusive toxic relationship, hardly matters. Parent children are having a toxic relationship, hardly matters, but the relationship is there. So this is how superficial we have become. We don't look for things which is substantial. Instead we just go by the aesthetics and that's it. Internal dynamics, internal aesthetics, internal way how relationships are, whether at all it's working out or not, nobody really cares. As long as it looks good, aesthetically, virtually out there, it looks that it's existing, it's fine. So that is because collectively we have become a very hypocrite society, and our parameters have changed. That a man has to keep ushering the gifts in order to prove his love. A woman has to keep looking pretty and keep seducing and fulfilling the desire of a man in order to make him feel that she loves him. So there are different kinds of norms that is set by people, and trust me, these norms which is set is very crippling, and these are very toxic. Like child has to keep loving the parent no matter how abusive parents are, and parents have to keep loving their children no matter how abusive and toxic their children are. So because of all of this thing, it becomes a breeding ground for manipulation. The powerful keeps manipulating the weaker one, and when the weaker one gets into some kind of a powerful position, the weaker one also manipulates the other weaker one, or maybe the powerful one. So the dynamics keep changing, and it becomes a breeding ground for all manipulation and toxicity. And if you see these kind of one-sided love never makes you feel great, never uplifts your spirit, or never really motivates you, or helps you become a better version of you. These one-sided love just cripples you, makes you feel less worthy, makes you have low self-esteem, low confidence, and it puts you into an endless cycle of the pleasing business. So when you don't get that love in return, you go on, you go on with a hope, with the fear of rejection, with the fear of being alone. You stick to that relationship, you stick to that toxic relationship, no matter what. One day they will realize, one day she will realize, one day my daddy will realize, one day my mother will love me. No, toxicity, and if a person is not identifying and understanding and recognizing your love or appreciating your love, I don't think ever that person would. Some people are not meant for it. Some people are just transactional, and as a matter of fact, one should understand and accept and trust it, that not everyone is the same, and everyone's goal, aspiration, motivation, emotional bandwidth is very different. So we can't keep expecting everyone to love the way how we love them. Yeah, and it can be in any relationship. So when you don't get the equal reciprocation in love, when you don't get that equal reciprocation in love, you feel really miserable, and you really feel a little off. You don't feel yourself, because you're doing it, you're trying to safeguard the relationship, but there is a void. Yeah, and that void is of not having that equal reciprocation. So reciprocation is very essential when it comes to any relationship, or maybe any emotion also. Then you are able to understand, navigate emotions and different dynamics a little better. If I am angry, then you get angry at me, then I also understand and realize how would I feel if you got angry on me. So if I love you, if you are compassionate enough, and if you have the if you don't have any malintent towards me, so you might also feel that okay, this person is really loving me, and it feels amazing to be loved, so why not make him or her feel loved as well. Yeah, so every emotion needs reciprocation of some kind, so that it gets validated, and the person understands what each of the emotion identifies and how each and every emotions work. So equal reciprocation is very essential. So the moral of this entire video and this entire lecture is that see, some people are not meant to love you the way how you are loving them, and it's okay. It's absolutely okay. You can always choose to walk out. You can choose to walk out, or you can draw a boundary or a barrier. That's absolutely fine, but don't keep on begging, and don't keep on looking for the same amount of love that you are putting into any relationship. You might not get it. So if you're not getting it, that means that person is toxic, dysfunctional, and that person is not worth your love. So don't keep on pouring it, don't keep on over investing your love into them. Just draw your boundaries and know, if you are not getting anything in return in a relationship, in love, if you're not getting equal reciprocation, that means that relationship is transactional, toxic, dysfunctional. So don't go on with a false hope that one day that person might recognize. Yeah, I have seen a lot of these family members, son doing things for mother, that one day my mother will appreciate and give me an award for the best son. Mothers are doing it for their toxic daughters and toxic sons. Fathers are doing it, wife is doing it for the husband, that one day he will realize. No, it's quite a crippling phenomena, and one shouldn't see, do the best that you can, but if you're not getting the same reciprocation, either you are investing too much of your emotion or love towards a wrong subject, or that person is not capable to understand your emotions and your love. So don't keep on doing it. If you're not getting it, put a full stop, and maybe you can look for it in some other relationships. So yes, this was all about how to recognize and not to become weak in love, and keep trying to please the other end, despite us not being validated, despite our emotions are not validated, and we are not appreciated, and despite of being loved, still we are not being loved. And the saddest part is that when we don't get the equal reciprocation in love, in any relationship, there comes a point when you start you might be in a relationship, but then you start feeling as if you were manipulated and you were cheated. Yes, there, that also comes. I mean, I had been doing a lot of these consultation, where I get a lot of these partners and family members, where they are in relationship, they are a family, they are a unit, they are into relationship, and they have this realization that I used to do so much, but I never used to get anything in return. I felt very manipulated, I felt very cheated, I felt very exploited. But it's okay, we have kids now, we are living together. Oh, it's okay, she's my mother, how does it matter? But yes, now I realize that she doesn't feel the same way I feel about her. So then they live with resentment and they live with regret. These people who go on trying to get the same reciprocation and to get the validation and approval, when they don't get it, after a point they start feeling betrayed, they feel cheated, they feel manipulated, and they feel exploited. So yes, that is also a very miserable feeling. So I'm the easiest way is that see for some time, and if it doesn't work out, just move on. There is no point in being in a toxic relationship and being emotionally drained, and not being emotionally validated. I think that's a very miserable feeling, and if you spend more time in that relationship, then you'll start having that regret also, that I did so much and I did not get anything in return, I did not get any love in return, I did not get equal reciprocation in return. So we need reciprocations. It's very essential for all of us. So yes, rather than going into those stages where you are living with resentment and regret, it's better to cut ties with such relationships, such dysfunctional relationship, and with such people who cannot love you the way how you love them. So yes, this was all about recognizing some people cannot love. And do think about it. In case if you would like to add in something, you can always comment below, and please do like, share, subscribe the channel, and please take care of yourself, and try and be more mindful. Don't just waste your emotions. Otherwise, if you'll keep on wasting your emotions in the wrong place, you will have a very weird feeling of being drained. You will have a very maddening feeling in the end, and trust me, that doesn't feel good. That really weakens you emotionally. So think about it. Please take care of yourself, and lots of love and blessings to all of you. Bye.